Y'all come.
Also, I would like to especially thank Deborah Winnett, who came in early and had all the chairs set up.
Yay!
She is so sweet, and she prefers not to have that attention brought, but sorry. So it is with great pleasure and great, personal honor that I present our speaker for today. And someone who really kind of, walked through the doorway here and just sort of really made himself to home. He came forward with an open heart, offering healing, offering support, and coming from the place of someone who likes to learn. And, for someone with such a sweet, humble heart, and an amazing practitioner. He is going to be speaking with us today about one of the fundamental concepts in indigenous practices, which is to walk in beauty. And so, without further ado, I would like to present UCM Minister and High Chief of the Li Pa Henne Tribe, Oatzi'nu She'e'lakéé.
How are you doing?
Hey.
So we'll need you to be at the podium, unless we can always give one.
Well, no, it's okay. Can everybody hear me?
It's for the recording.
Oh,
But if you would rather speak over here, we can put you over there.
I'm more nervous now. So, I'm from New Mexico. Well, my great-grandparents and my grandparents are both maternal from New Mexico. Raised down in San Antonio and Peyote Gardens, Texas, where I don't. So a lot of my upbringing has been around indigenous ways, raised by my paternal grandparents. So I was very lucky to be able to be connected that way, even though my uncles and everybody had to go to Dallas or Houston or San Antonio for work, because at that time, back in the 40s, the government was saying, see you later. If you don't get work, it's too bad. So it was kind of hard. It was hard. As a matter of fact, in San Antonio, down in one of the parks, there's an annex. It says Navajo Annex. Wow. It's a small building. And some people know it's there, a lot of people don't know it's there, but that's where the Dineh people in San Antonio and that South Texas area used to come and meet. And but to these days, we still have Grandma Cardenas Peyote Gardens there in Laredo, Texas, Oil Town, where everybody still meets down there for Peyote Way. But with that, and within that, indigenous ways across from South America all the way up to Canada, Sami people over in the Scandinavian area, even over into where the shaman word comes from, actually derives from among the Tunga people. It's about walking in beauty. And as a child just does whatever a child wants to do.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. To see that beauty in that way. Go smell the flower, touch the rocks. Don't be afraid to ask for permission. May I do that? A lot of people, they come up to like somebody in regalia and they start touching. Ooh. Don't. That's very offensive. Very offensive. It's really important as ministerial people and as reverends that we ask for permission. May I go into your realm? May I pray for you? Just like mom and dad taught us growing up, we need to ask first. Very important. If we're not asking, if we're just imposing our spiritual selves upon someone, then we're not walking in our beauty. We're not helping that person walk in beauty. If we're not helping someone to be who their better self is, then should I even be a minister? Should I even be a reverend? Should I even be an uncle? So that in that way, within the indigenous mindset, to walk in beauty is to appreciate all life. To walk in beauty is to appreciate each other in respect, great respect, for who you are, no matter what has happened to you, as Reverend Dottie spoke. Where is your heart? Where is your heart today? Am I sad? Am I happy? Am I angry? Where is my heart? How am I going to express myself around others? If I'm not doing things in a good way for myself, then am I doing anything good for my people, for my congregation? So then, in that way, when I think and I'm introspective like that, and I see where I am, then I might be walking in beauty, and hopefully coming close to it. You know? And it's not to say, oh, look what I've done, you know, and then I pop my suspenders, or I pop my collar. It's not about that. Walking in beauty is not about popping your collar to ego. Walking in beauty is about being in yourself. It's not about, oh, look at me, I have entitlement because of whatever race I am. It's not about me, oh, look what I've done. It's not at all. It's not about entitlement. It's not about ego. It's not about being angry for the somewhat incorrect reasons. We could be angry, that's fine. That's wonderful. You can use it as a tool. We can be in fear. But if I'm using fear to manipulate the masses, or even an individual, I'm not walking in beauty. Definitely not walking in beauty. And without Mama, where are we going to be? Without our Father, where are we going to be? The Godhead, Mother, Father, God, as humans call that energy. Well, it's already been 2 minutes. So within that mindset, within those ways, I'd like to ask, go home today, you know? Am I really walking in my beauty? Am I allowing my fear to stop me from doing what I wish to do in life? Am I allowing my anger to push everyone that I love away? Am I appropriating other cultures in a respectful way? Or not? It's okay, I can go walk and I can learn Yoruba. Beautiful drumming, beautiful ways, very ancient ways. I can go across the world, I can go walk about in Australia. But how many paths will I follow before I split? And then I don't even know myself. Then I'm not walking in beauty. I'm not walking in myself. Yes, there are many rivers to the beautiful ocean of the spirit realm. True. But which one will you follow? Which one will you follow? And that very best one to follow is that of the heart. Who are you? There was a great leader back in the early 1900s to 1911, passed away. He was a really big fighter during that time. A lot of people joined him, not just the Apaches. And a lot of people, a lot of people to this day, a lot of the descendants, that they either condone or they condemn. It's in all cultures. Am I going to condone you for stepping up, leading the people, even if it's into battle for what's right for the people? Or am I going to condemn you for that same thing? To walk in beauty is not just being a spiritual being. It's being that spiritual being within this temple. within this church. For truly, this is only an edifice. The church is here, the people. When we're in that peyote meeting, that spirit grandfather comes in. Everybody's singing. Some people might not be singing. But everyone is in reverence and respect for that spirit. Because that's when it's time to connect. Let there be quietness other than babies. Babies have the rule in our people. Babies are a blessing. They are teachers, great teachers. Because they remember, oh, I touched that, it's hot. Don't touch it again. Maybe I'll touch it again. It's hot. Or maybe we'll go and they'll put their nose in the flour. Just cram it in there. God, that smells so good. And it's beautiful too, baby. And we got the pollen on the nose kind of thing. Oh, that's what it does. So just like in life, it's okay to smell that beauty, put our nose in what smells good, but at the same time, we gotta clean our nose off so we don't start sneezing. We have a reaction. Exactly. So then, in that way, we can keep walking in beauty. Be as that child, seeing beauty all around, within, above, below. My sisters, my brothers, you are beautiful. Don't ever forget that. You are beautiful. No matter what you've done in life, no matter what kind of papers you've received that have your name, those are tools. Tools that you've worked hard to receive. Extremely hard to receive. But as a minister and as a reverend, those are tools to help the greater good. If destruction needs to come about, then destruction needs to come about. Then, in the aftermath, is when those tools are used. Or even during that time of burden, and after that wall falls, or even before we hit the wall, we go splat, The ministers and the reverends are the ones that kind of put the stuff back together and help reform it. From that column, we are formed. From that mud. So, in our way, in the Native Indigenous American way, when we introduce ourselves, it's a long introduction. Because not only do we introduce myself, I'm introducing my grandparents, my ancestors, my clans, everywhere that I come from. That is me, that is who I am. Whether we're Scandinavian, bloodline, indigenous, African, Asian. The indigenous mindset around the world does that. They introduce who they are and where they come from. And they might say, oh yeah, I'm a medicine man too, but I help people. It's not about me. It's about you. When somebody gives me or passes you a document and they indoctrinate you into a path that you're choosing to follow, they're telling you, here's the guidelines, the rules, regulations, so forth. Disclaimer. But those are the protocols within our practices, right? Likewise, there are protocols in the Spirit. There are protocols in each and every ceremony that we do. Every ceremony, every breath, every step, every blink of the eye is a prayer. And that prayer is to do our best to walk in our beauty. Don't be angry anymore. Don't be sad. Do your best to see what it is that needs to shift. Am I elevating myself too much in front of everybody? Am I demeaning myself too much in front of everyone? So it's important to know where you are. Know where you are in your heart. There's a lot of people. I have feathers, I have drums, I have a shogoko, I have a, what is it, didgeridoo thing. I have all of these things. I can heal the people. I can. But really, can you really? Or is it really the individual that heals themselves? Is it that energy within the individual that they finally realized, I had it the whole time? Then, when we can help someone to walk in beauty, then they can be I am all that is within me, above me, below me, and around me. I am that I am. I am you, you are me, we are we. We're then able to walk in that beauty together. When I first heard those three very important words, or that phrase, wow. I am that, I am, which is within, above, below, around, and about. And then finally I realized, I can now walk in beauty. That power, that which is love within each and every single one of you. That power of love without ego. Without ego. Some people don't like hearing that. Oh, look at me. I'm still, look at me. Oh, look at me. I have all of this and I've done all of this and I'm a doctor. Or I'm a president or I'm a whatever. But you know what? Even if we're a doctor out there shooting archery with somebody that comes up and is a red man and he's shooting archery with the doctor and the doctor says, I'm a doctor. I say, well, great, are you a good doctor? Can you help me? Or did you just go to school, just to make the money? And to only see me for 30 minutes, if that. Are you a good doctor of the Spirit? If there's still things that we need to learn, there's still things we need to learn. I will not overstep my boundaries. That is part of our spiritual protocol. Never overstep your personal boundaries or someone else's. Never. Always ask for permission. Can I help you? No? Okay. Point the way. Because if I'm not a psychologist, I point the finger or the fingers to somebody that can. Somebody that's licensed that I know is good at what they do. No. Very, very important. Am I out of time?
No.
Okay.
Go on, please.
10 more minutes.
If you would like to take some questions.
So, with that, one more thing real quick. I'd love to reiterate what Reverend Dottie said, speaking about the heart. Very important. Are you in your heart? Where is your heart? Because everything that Dr. Dottie said, Reverend Dottie, Dr. Stewart. Yeah, it's well enough in that just alone. Beautiful. That is walking in beauty. Where is your heart? Where is your heart? So, sometimes it's okay, I'm going to say one more thing, okay. Sometimes it's okay to be, I can't find the word in English, definitely not arrogant, definitely not egotistical, but I guess for me it would be, as a matter of fact, I do that.
Confidence.
Confident.
Thank you, confidence. Confidence. It's okay to be confident in what you know and what you do. It's okay, that's good. You're staying in your beauty. You're staying within your knowledge. Integrity. Beautiful word. So remember that. Will you love, trust, respect? Will you be honorable? Love, trust, respect, and honor to yourself before you go out and give charity to others. So the 4 pillars of the Native American Church, 5, those are the most important things. Love, trust, honor, respect yourself. So that you can give charity to others. Simple, but hard. Because it's a constant, it is a constant introspection. Very challenging. Am I or am I not walking in my beauty? So that others can walk in their beauty. So I'd like everyone, if you don't mind, with me. Take a deep breath. Hold, and you're going to release it through your lips. Slowly. So in that way, it's how we breathe. In through your nose. Hold. Out through your lips. And what that process does, I think they call it didactic breathing these days. But that process helps to release DMT in your mind. Helps to decalcify your pineal gland. So when sometimes we're in the lodge or the EDP or the ceremony and we hear somebody go, you're going to see a lot of indigenous people looking that way. Okay. That's okay. It's okay. We don't judge. Okay. That's what they learn. But that's how we do it. In the nose, hold. Through the lips, slow as you can. That immediately places your mind into a calm bliss. Hopefully, calm bliss. Now, are there questions? Yes, ma'am.
It's another question, but what you just described as sitting in there in ceremony and someone breathes in, and then in the Huna tradition that's called ha breathing.
Yeah.
And so it's the same type of energy breathing in and releasing, but the ha is more to also release the energies within the body that are feeling the tension, the fear, etc. So I just wanted to share that with you. And that's so you want to do it in the right places where everybody's doing this almost the same thing in some ways, but you don't want to make a right or wrong out of it, right? So
Well, yeah.
so you give it that beauty energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then in the way we do our cyclic breathing, does the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does the same thing. It accomplishes the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder if you
Can you
have,
stand up, Mary, so people in the back can hear you? Thank you.
I usually start out the morning, and do my prayer work and I'm centered, and then I encounter my day, and it's harder to hold on to that center place when you're debating with the butcher or whatever is going on. And I wondered if you had any strategies. Perhaps the breathing is a strategy that helps you to hold on to that center place when you're encountering something else.
So that's the first thing after many years of going back, being deployed. There's we all gather, even when we're overseas, and everybody's allowed, and we do that. We do our drumming, we do our singing, we do our breathing, because it helps to stay in center. And to realize, most of all, the reality of things. Where am I really walking right now? Where is my reality at this time? Whether it's an explosion 2 streets over, or if we're at home, sitting at a bakery, smelling those nice sweet breads. To know my reality, I'm walking in beauty. To know where I've been and where I am now, most importantly, then we're walking in beauty. To breathe before that butcher takes the next chop. I'm in my beauty. And he's in his beauty, he's working. And he's doing his job. Sometimes people don't like to be bothered in their job. I'm working. Yeah? So then also it's important to not judge, but to try to see where that other person is coming from. Walk in their shoes. You'll know why. Try to understand where they've been. You'll know why.
I come from a background of many different traditions.
Hmm?
3 major ones: African American, Seminole Native, and Japanese. And actually all 3 backgrounds are more similar than you would expect. And I, being that mix, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I should be like this really messed up guy. But I'm not. I have that unique perspective of different cultures that I'm, part of, and I've got to hear things from my Asian side that help my life now, and my African American side that's helped my life, and from the indigenous American side. And some of the things you said, my grandfather Lancer, he's Seminole Indian, he was a tribal chief in Florida. And
Is that Ted or Frank?
no.
No.
His name is Nancy Martin. Well, it's a cool name though. And he told me when I was young, I was like in the 7th grade, he goes, "You walk in peace, live in the light, and step into love."
Yeah.
So he always told me that, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like 14. It was like over my head. I was like, I'm like, duh.
It's true. As we grow older, the more we understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand until I was probably about 25 what he was talking about. I thought, wow, this is pretty dense.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Oatzi'nu, what is your favorite ritual practice?
My favorite ritual practice.
I know you have many rituals. Just wondering if there's one that is closest to your...
I would have to say we have more of ceremony than we do ritual.
Ceremony is ritual.
Not quite necessarily.
In many ways.
There are some similarities, however, within ceremony, we have a protocol, right?
Right.
So then we're going to start our different stages of the ceremony in order to complete the circle. So then maybe from an exterior mindset or standpoint, we're going to say, oh, look, there's little mini rituals within this big ceremony. But to us, an indigenous mindset, it's our protocol. So these are our rules and regulations that we have in order to follow the 9 days, 13 days, however many days of ceremony, of that healing that is required in order to be fulfilled. So then in that way, because my favorite thing to do is to pray. And to really visualize a person's healing, no matter in what way it needs to take shape, whether they have to have medications along with prayer, along with massage, excuse me, that was forceful, or whatever modality needs to be incorporated. So for me, that's my favorite thing, is to just pray and to be within, for not only myself to get better, but for other people to get better as well. Yes, ma'am.
I have learned that You can walk around with none of those four. No love, no trust. Respect and honor. So you just walk around totally empty, right? With nothing?
Well,
Because those things you have to learn, right?
it
You
would,
don't just get those.
it's good if you were taught that, but there's a lot of people that are not taught that. There's a lot of people that are just walking angry.
Is that all he's saying? Or just
That's all you know. If that's all you know, you're not going to learn anything different. If you only fear is the only thing that you know,
But if you have none of those, are you walking around an empty person?
you may not. It's not necessarily empty. You're going to have some type of emotion or some type of value of self. So then you're not walking empty, but you're just walking in that sight.
So you learn those.
You can learn those. You can. And it's always good if you have a mentor, or if you say on your own, you learn what it is that is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And those that do walk in fear and anger, is there a way that you can persuade them?
I don't think anybody can hear you past the second row.
For those that do walk in fear and anger, is there a way for them to, or for us to help them come back to center?
Yes. Yes, there is. Fear and anger, as we know, go hand in hand, side to side. There's two main emotions, it is said there's two main emotions. Love and fear.
That's right.
Out of fear, we get all of this other delusion, or whatever it might be, angst, out of fear, confusion. All of this happens out of fear. So then those are the branches. And out of love grows many beautiful things. So if we can help a person to shift over to love, that will blossom for them. To live in fear because of a trauma, I know personally, as a veteran, and so living in fear is not a good way. It really isn't. It's very destructive. Fear deteriorates the body, the mind, and the spirit very quickly. Very quickly. Anger does the same thing. We know already, physically, anger, you get ulcers, you get high blood pressure, you get all kinds of things. And it even affects the mind with the chemicals being produced in the mind, in the brain. Anger can lead to delusion, mental delusion, extreme confusion, fear. So when we're confused, when we don't, all we can do is point the way. It's really all we can do, point the way. Hopefully they're pointing back inside their heart. Sometimes, like in our way, we would take somebody on a journey. I went through a walk-away ceremony when I come back. And it was through the teepee meeting that they did that for me. So many drugs that the VA loves to give veterans. It's a kind of Molotov.
It's not just the VA.
Yes. So within this therapeutic state of America, is America walking in beauty? Can we judge? We can only see ourselves. Truly. We can't judge someone for why they're angry or why they're scared. All we can do is say, hey, let's try our best to help you love again. First of all, help you love yourself. Most important. And I think I'm done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
One last word. So we say ton or uja kuja. In the San Juan Pueblos, uja kuja or ton. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Oz. That was wonderful. One of the things I heard on NPR, how many of you listen to NPR? It's kind of a fantastic thing.
Yes.
They have found that Tylenol and acetaminophen stops you from being sympathetic. And they did a test where they took bunches of people, you know, and these people, they gave massive doses, and I don't know how much, of acetaminophen, which we find in a lot of different things, and the other, they didn't. And then they showed them movies, horrendous movies and things happening to people. Those that had been using acetaminophen went, so what? And the ones that hadn't were crying and shrieking in agony and pain. And when you think of how many people in this country are on Tylenol, and when you wonder about people being not sympathetic at all, and they're starting to look into it more about what they can do, because when you're not sympathetic for other people, it's hard to also love yourself, like Oz was talking about. And we talk about the drug culture, but we don't think of that pill you take when you have a little pain in your left